Hey guys, welcome back. This is Quest Finder on Evony, and we have a new general. So, this new event, they announced that Washington Prime is going to be the new savior of Evony. So, let's just take a look here, see if we can find the announcement. And we do not have it here on this PC version. So, right now, we're looking at Washington Prime, who I already have actually set up on my new Cav assistant general. I have Napoleon Prime, Awakened with Nidhogg, all 9 yards already set up. He's 11.7 million. He is exactly what you want in a cab general, maxed out specialties. And now instead of Messina, who I have somewhere down here, who was my old pairing with 45% specialties on attack and I believe defense, we have Washington Prime. The big difference is the book pairings. Messina had an issue with the attack book, so now we can get all the books set up, and we have more march size. We have 65% more HP, and we'll do a quick test on what actually is better, and I'll show you how we do those tests. So quick, let's find out how much better Washington Prime really is. So I go down and I find an old keep for right here. And I'll actually just buff up really quick to compare the buffs. Let's just see what we got here. Make sure we got the cap buff on. We do, and I will just set a rally. You can see we're testing Washington Prime first. Doesn't matter what we have there. Let's launch the rally. People are going to be confused. They're going to be confused when I'm attacking an empty keep. Some players might know exactly what's going on here. And let's look at the report. So with Washington Prime, we have 3,000% attack, 2422 defense, and 2470. And then we'll recall this really fast. And we're going to go to the report, find the city's location again. We're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to see what the difference is. So first, let's just see 3.571 million troops. That's the march size. And if we go to Messina, it should be lower. 3.571 versus 3.55. Difference of 20K. Not the biggest difference in the world, but every little bit counts. We're going to march this. Same thing. We're going to attack now. Booyah. Get there in about 5 seconds. And let's compare these reports. So right here, we have troop buff, 3,000% attack. Here, we have 3,010. So about the same. Troop buff here, 2437 mounted troop defense. Here, 2477. And troop buffs, HP 2410. And here, we have 2470. And the reason why it appears closer than it is, you may have noticed this when I was clicking into the generals, is this fourth specialty still isn't maxed out. So let's see what we got left here. We have another 9%, 5 and 5, 18. So we have 15% mounted troop defense, 15 HP, and then 27 more mounted troop attack left to gain out of that equation. And that will make it so it wins in every single category. So even though marginally you're talking 18% straight attack and talking 3,028, that's a winner right there, right? You're thinking 2437, 2437, it's going to be the exact same defense. And you're thinking another 18, 2488, and right there, 2410. So that's a big HP buff. Pretty simple get up So right there as an assistant, Washington Prime wins against Messina, and you have slightly more cab march. So that's awesome. One way to quickly obtain a maxed out assistant general, and we can do this right now if we really wanted to, is you go to soul binding. I think the effects of soul binding are really unique. Some people don't fully understand what's going on here. I just moved Agrippa into my assistant general. I most likely will not bind him 10 times because it takes 150 days. So one thing you can do, and this is because there's new generals coming out all of the freaking time, right? It's never ending. So let's see if we can find, oh, we're not in the cab section. Let's see if we can find Washington Prime, for example. Well, let's use Poly G. They can't be the same general it pairs up in the marches. But Poly G is set up perfectly to bind. Let's preview this. He'll be level 45. He'll have the full buff out on the attack. Let's go ahead and do that. Voila. So now when we go to attack, buddy over here, Carnation, by the way, zeroed her very early on in the server. Kind of feel bad about it. Didn't think she was going to quit playing on day 5. It's a tough game. It's a tough freaking game. Been zeroed quite a few times, but not recently. Let's try this again. We got the mark 3.571. We got the full buff. Let's launch. Voila. Let's get there quickly. And shebang. 3,037, like we talked about, 2437, 2485, almost 2,500 CAD HP. You gotta be trucking me. I said trucking. And let's see if we have any other buffs we're missing out on here. Maybe not so much. City Troop Attack, Healing Speed, Defending, not really. It's looking pretty good. This would be better if we were attacking someone with our actual subs. We were not. We were sending rallies. And we've got that going for us. So that wraps it up. Obviously, Washington Prime is now, if you can, fully buff him up the best general. He pairs up great with Washington Prime. It is the meta for cav attacks, just like having Merlin and Marcus Agrippa. That gives you the best ability to actually perform out there. You don't need to be maxing out these generals every single time if you have the soul binding. For me, I will be using Douglas as my Senate general and using him as the soul binding effect when I need it. And that will be giving me the best benefit. What else? I think that's it. I believe there's another, for the updates, I believe there's another freaking duty officer for the stables. I'm not switching that up. It's way too expensive. In terms of the other aspects of the event, we can quickly go over those. We have Hector's Moon, which I'm probably not going to do. It takes some time. But we have Survey Server this week. We have some troop training. Probably not going to participate in this too much. I just went to Keep 41, as you can see right here. I did the walls. I did the army camp because the very first building I'm doing to 41 is actually going to be my rally spot to increase my march size for soloing. And then next will be Military Academy. I'm going to do those in that order because I don't have enough of these skill books or the research books. What do they call them? I'm going to blank here for a second. The tactic scrolls. We don't have enough tactic scrolls right now to make a dent in Military Academy 6, so there's no rush. I want to be about 70,000 tactic scrolls. And right here, once I have this upgrade, I get the full benefit right away versus having to wait for this. Yeah, that's about it. It's the second week of, it's the final week of All-Stars qualifying. Personal ranking, I believe I'm right in the middle of the pack. We messed up and lost a week. This most recent week, we had a horrible matchup. There was nobody who jumped on and played. You can see right here that we won by 100,000 points, but this team just no-showed. It wasn't there. A couple players showed up. This one, just too big. A couple keep 40s, a keep 42, very tough matchup for us. This one we won pretty convincingly. So this coming week, we'll get set up. We will hopefully get a win. If we get a win, we pretty much lock myself in for All Stars. And that gives me a chance, as you can see here. Let's see if we can find the All Star Battle Shop, All Star Shop. Let's see here, All Star Shop right here. You can see I have 65 tokens. I'm getting closer to Landon or whatever that ground general's name is, and that will be a big jump in this gameplay. Once I have one of these two, I'll probably go for the ground general. Dragons to unlock if we place in the All-Star Finals. Question for me will be, I already have the wall general. He's level 13 already. He's excellent in gameplay right now for me. I will probably go for the siege general most likely, because these two generals I can't pick from. So I have one of two options here. I have another cab general, which I don't know if I really need, or I have a siege general, which I don't really have yet. And by default, when I get the siege general, I can actually take Fafnir and again repurpose him back into a cab general. Even though we have a couple of those, I think that's the next best gameplay for me. If you have any questions, ask in the comments. I will kind of go through my goals for the alliance, the server. Here in the next couple of videos, I'll do a how-to on how soul binding works best for most people. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, the whole YouTube shebang, and we'll be back soon.